right. It is casual day at the WMOQ studios. I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt, Chastity, not because I disrespect this studio. It's because it's 9,000 degrees outside.
Yes.
And just staring outside makes me sweat. So, when I was thinking about it today, I can dress casual because my guest, the mayor of Watkinsville, Brian Broderick, he has no clue what I'm wearing. He's calling in.
No.
For all he knows, I'm wearing a suit and tie.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
I could be dressed to the nines. And then, of course, James Cooper, my next guest, that'll be coming in. He is in studio. He will see me, but he's a truck driver and he's casual. So I was thinking about this. If he comes in and if he is dressed better than me, then I quit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And Mr. Cooper has been known to show up in a jacket and a tie every now and then.
He's going to be looking good.
Yeah, so when we do the in-studio post-show picture, it may be a little bit odd because I'm in like a sea surfer T-shirt.
We'll just go from like the chest up.
Yeah, don't
There
get
you
the
go.
shorts.
Okay.
The shorts are dated too. These are old school, a little bit longer. You know how shorts now, men's shorts are back short again.
As the kids say, vintage.
Well, the length, if you go back to the 70s in basketball, they were like so short you could see your skivvies.
Yeah.
Then they got real long. The men wore the shorts all the way down to the knees.
The jams.
Yeah. Terrible look. And so now I think the shorts are just right.
Yeah.
They're mid-thigh. They look.
So you like them?
Well, the ones I have on are a little bit longer than normal, but I like these because they got pockets and I can stuff all my crap in there. So
gotta have pockets.
it's casual day.
That's right.
It's casual day. Hey, neat little thing. Over the weekend, I was invited to a wedding up in Rome, Georgia, and the father of the bride had a special song that meant something to between the two of them.
Sure.
And the song was by the artist Logan Crosby. And for some of y'all who don't know who Logan Crosby is, he is an up-and-coming star, country music singer. He's from this area. I think he grew up in Milledgeville, and he now lives in Nashville. And Logan is a friend of mine. We've actually tried to get him on the show, and we will sometime soon get him on the show. Fantastic musician. So this song was his song. And as a special surprise for everybody in attendance, he actually had Logan Crosby show up and sing the song for the father and the bride to have their dance.
That was sweet.
It was really sweet. So I had a good embrace with Logan. I haven't seen him in quite some time. Just a devilishly handsome young man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've known him back from just about 5-6 years ago when we're actually just in the political world, believe it or not. But it's always kind of fun to see somebody achieving and aspiring and reaching for their dreams.
And weddings are so fun. I love weddings.
It was a great wedding. Yeah.
It's the season for weddings.
It is. It is
We
a
had
season.
2 last weekend.
You had 2?
Weddings, yes.
All right. That means you're popular. So people,
No,
if you're getting invited to the weddings, that means people like you and they want you there.
Well, hopefully I'm not crashing some of them, but yeah.
Oh, but that was a neat treat. So, Chassie, what are you doing for the 4th? What's going on? Are you stuck here in the station all day?
So I will be a little back and forth, but hanging out here in Monroe, all the great festivities, fireworks.
Lots of stuff going on.
Bob's going to have the trolley in Monroe.
Is Bob bringing the trolley to Monroe?
He is. So they're doing like a little tour of homes.
That's cool. I didn't know
The
that.
historian in Monroe is going to kind of be talking about the homes and stuff on the trolley
So
ride.
they got a little teamwork effort
Yeah,
going on
it's
between
so
Madison
fun.
and Monroe.
Yeah.
I like that. Everybody
I love
playing
it,
nice
too.
together.
I do. I love it.
That is great. That's a
And
great
who
story.
doesn't love a trolley?
Well, I guess we have a morning remote on the 4th. Then we have an evening remote on the
That's
4th.
right. Mm-hmm.
So are you in studio doing those, or is Paul Weekly doing those?
So Paul, I'll be here helping Paul a little bit.
Tall
So-
Paul will be running
Yep.
that. Okay. Well, good.
And then you and Les will be live
We're gonna be
on location.
toasty that day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Y'all better definitely take plenty of cold water.
I'm excited about this. This is a great chance to be a part of everything that's going on. I do plan on going over to Oconee County, Watkinsville. They have their 250 celebration. We're going to have the mayor of Watkinsville on shortly, and he's going to fill us in on some of the goings-on out there. But it's just, there's so much every day taking place that if you are unavailable one day, you can go to any of these small towns, just Google it, and you'll see what's going on.
A lot of fun activities.
There is a lot of
all
cool
around.
stuff taking place. I'm excited about that. So before we get into our guest today, Chastity, you know me, I like to dig up a little action. I do a little snooping around in the internet to see what's going on, and I try to stay all over the place, something funny, something serious. And I found out this is a startling statistic that I'm about to share with you. This is mind-blowing. America created wealth at a remarkable rate in 2025. Now get this. We added more than 440,000 new millionaires. That's 1,200 millionaires a day that we added in our country in 2025.
Wow.
And what that tells me, I have a feeling that Les is one of these millionaires, and we're paying him way too much. I notice he smiles every time we see him now.
He's got the big bucks.
Yeah, he does. He smiles his way to the bank. But this is a startling statistic. And of course, they're saying that the reason for this massive increase in wealth is because the stock market has performed so well. So for those who have a 401k and are heavily invested, doing the right thing, putting away money for their retirement, the increases in the stock market have catapulted them into the millionaire range.
Wow.
But that's
nice.
It's the American dream.
That's nice.
This is the American dream. Now, here's another statistic that I found shocking is that, let's see if I got this right here. Oh man, I put too much notes on here, Chess. Can't even find my notes. But when you look at the overall wealth of our country, we now have 40% of the world's millionaires. So nearly half of the world's millionaires reside in the United States of America.
Wow.
This is the land of opportunity.
I guess I missed that bus.
It's not too late to get on that bus.
No.
You got to invest in the stock market.
There you go.
You got to or do something, buy real estate.
Yes.
Invest in businesses.
Land, definitely.
Play the lottery.
Playing the numbers, I'm not so good at, but land, that's something they don't make more of. So
That's
the more
right.
you have, the better off.
I do. I love real estate.
Yes.
It's a good deal. And I'm joking about the lottery. That is not a
No.
solid financial retirement plan.
I meant play in the market, like the numbers.
Yeah.
I would be so lost.
You got to be diversified.
I would be broke.
I think a good portfolio. Mitch would know this better than anybody because
Yes.
Mitch is in that
Mitch
line of
would
work.
know.
But you got to be diversified. You need a little real estate. You need businesses. You need some stock market.
Okay.
And I tell young people, start squirreling away.
That's right. Yes.
Don't spend your money. Don't go out there and stay away from the vices. Marc McMain show, digging through some topics. Oh, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3. We overturned a decades-old campaign finance restriction where there was limits as to how much a political party can spend in a campaign. And I had mixed thoughts on this at one point. When you think about the sheer amount of money that gets put into a political campaign, and of course, we're all exhausted from this right now. Us as voters, not just me as somebody who ran for office, but us as voters, we're tired of going to the mailbox, seeing 50 mail pieces, commercials on radio, television, you name it, everywhere. So there is voter fatigue as far as how much a campaign can spend. But I was thinking about this. I don't think it's a bad deal to let the money flow. And here's why. Let me make my case for this. It creates, and I'm talking just aside from the First Amendment right, the free speech right, and people's will or ability to pitch in and support a campaign so their voice is heard. The economic ecosystem that public office creates, when you're talking about candidacies, you think about when a person makes a donation to a campaign and that money is spent maybe on print. So let's talk about a postcard for a minute. If a campaign spends money on a postcard, they had to hire a printer. The printer had to order the paper. They had to have a designer. The designer got paid. It goes to the United States postal system, more than likely, to get distributed, which that provides jobs. You go over to the commercial side, let's say for television, you have to hire a crew to shoot the commercial. You have to broadcast it, which there's entities that get revenue from that. There's employees that work for these companies. So when you think about a campaign, let's talk about knocking doors, paying people to knock doors, paying people to make phone calls. The political process creates jobs. It really does. Sure. And so the funding of this, that's what this whole Supreme Court ruling was about, was who and how much can fund this. The funding of this is good for the economy. And don't get me wrong, I was on both sides of this equation at points. I mean, there was times I'm like, man, it's just that much money was spent on this race. I mean, think about it. The gubernatorial race we just had in the primary for the Republican Party was the most expensive in Georgia history for a governor's race. So you have that side of it. But the flip side is think of all the jobs that it has and does and will continue to create. So I think the Supreme Court got that one right. They didn't get a couple of them right this week, but they got that one right. And we'll save that topic for another day. All right, last one. This one's kind of sad. A foul odor up in New York. It's a New York school. It was a public school. A foul odor led to the shocking discovery of a decomposing body stuck in the chimney of a school. You know, schools up in New York have chimneys because they get so cold. We don't know what a chimney is in a school down here. We don't have to deal with that in the winter. Yeah. But up there they do. And somebody had crawled into this chimney. Who knows? It may have been a technician, like somebody working on it. I don't think it would be that because that guy would have showed up missing. But it may have been somebody sneaking into the school. They found the body of a decomposing man inside the chimney in a public school. Now, thank God all the kids were away for summer break. So I think they said an exterminator found this when they were looking for the smell. They thought maybe it was a dead animal, a dead rat. And unfortunately, it was a deceased human being. But the New York City the New York City Department of Education called the discovery deeply upsetting and concerning. And they said it's the city's most unusual death scene in recent memory. So prayers for the family of that man who went missing. And, you know, I was thinking about this. Thank the Lord that school was not in session. Yeah. That could have been a grisly discovery for the kids.
I mean, just the thought of, nobody noticed that someone was missing, or
that's what makes me think this might have been somebody that,
kind of foul play.
Well, maybe just somebody that was homeless on the fray, wasn't on somebody's radar. Who knows? Yeah, who knows what took place?
God bless them.
If something like that happened here, we'd know in 10 seconds. Like if Paul went missing, it'd be a 5-alarm fire in 30 seconds if Paul went missing.
We'd have the whole town out looking.
The whole town would be out looking for Paul if he went missing for more than 30 seconds. Les, not so much. Les could be gone for probably because they would miss.
He's got so much money. He comes and goes as he plays. So we never know if he's on like some island, with his toes in the sand. You just never know with Les.
Yeah, and of course he'd be missing on his show. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the mayor of Watkinsville, Mr. Brian Broderick, will be joining us. Stick around, folks.
Putting off auto repairs? Do you want a body shop you know and trust? Go see AutoCorrect Collision. AutoCorrect is a family-owned and operated collision center with over 45 years of experience. Their equipment and training exceed industry standards. No repair is too big or small. Ask about the special drawings and mention this ad for a discount. Visit AutoCorrect Collision at 409 Mayfield Drive or call them at 770-207-1241.
Ready to grow your small business and reach thousands of new customers? Say hello to Town Values Magazine, formerly MTM Shopper, proudly serving the community for 22 years. Every month, thousands of magazines are mailed directly to homes in Walton, Oconee, Barrow, Rockdale, Newton, Gwinnett, and beyond to further expand your reach. Our magazine is packed with valuable coupons and services offered, helping families save money while supporting the community they love. We specialize in local direct marketing that works, building your brand, driving sales, and connecting you with the customers who matter most. Plus, we're online at townvalues.com and on Facebook and Instagram, giving your business even more exposure in print and digital. Ready to reserve your space in the next edition? Call Liliana at 770-267-6650. Town Values Magazine. Local, trusted, powerful. Helping businesses grow and families save.
Madison Flooring, located at 1167 Eatonton Road in Madison, is your full-service and professional installation center for all kinds of flooring, from tile, carpet, laminate, wood. They even do showers. They have granite and quartz countertops. All military, police, firefighters, and teachers ask for your discount. Madison Flooring is locally owned and operated. For knowledgeable and friendly service, call 706-431-5152.
Welcome back. Marc McMain. Chairman Cooper comes in the building through the window, flashes that he's got a collared shirt on, so he did one-up me.
All right.
I knew it.
Yep.
I knew it. Can't even wear a
Quick.
T-shirt nowadays.
That's right.
Joining me now, the mayor of Watkinsville, my friend Brian Broderick. Mr. Mayor, how are you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing great. I want to start off by saying what an incredible event. You were kind enough to invite me to the ribbon cutting of the Simonton Bridge Road pedestrian bridge, and I really didn't understand the full I didn't grasp what took place out there, but kudos to you and your team and everyone had the vision to execute that beautiful place.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to see that connection. It had basically been covered up by a jungle, and realized, hey, we've got a cemetery and a park that are only about 400 feet away from our downtown. But it kind of took a lot of work and a vision and a lot of map looking to realize we could put all that together in a way that would really enhance the quality of life for about a third of our residents.
Well, and what you just said, the vision for y'all to be able to look. Now, I don't know what that place looked like prior to the improvements that y'all made, but I can only imagine it probably was almost like a jungle because it's a heavily wooded area. For you guys to have the vision to have seen what it looked like before to where it is now is impressive. To look through the topography and to understand how the land is going to lay and to make the bridge set up. So do this if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. Maybe describe to our listeners what you guys did and what it looks like now, because I want to encourage people to go out and spend an afternoon there.
Yeah, what we realized was, we have a thriving downtown and an arts center that were great, and then we just recently had, in the past few years, done the 100-acre Thomas Farm Preserve Park, which has fishing. It's a beautiful green space for walking, for running, for biking, and then we had adjacent to that, we had probably 700 residents and hundreds of homes, and none of that was connected together. And so what we realized was we had a simple, an old road right-of-way, ironically, where the Simonton Bridge or Whitehall Road used to connect between Watkinsville and Athens, and it was rerouted in the 1920s. And basically what we did is we reopened that old right-of-way, put in a new covered bridge for pedestrians and bikes only, and reconnected that corridor in a really compelling way with the covered bridge and some public art and new restrooms. And so we reconnected our downtown to those neighborhoods, to our historic cemetery, to this new park, and tried to do it in a way that's inspiring and beautiful to get, people off their devices, out of the house, and enjoying the outdoors, and make it safe for families and kids and seniors and people of all abilities to really be able to use that.
Yeah, for somebody like myself that I am willing to load up my bikes, and I go quite often to Harbin's Park, which has a nice bike trail there, whether you want to just do regular casual biking or a little bit of mountain biking, which I'm not great at, but I do enjoy the mountain biking. When I was there visiting the other day, I realized this is a place you could come and spend an entire afternoon because you have, and I'm assuming, do you have mountain bike trails in addition to the walking path?
Yeah, we do. We've got walking paths that are concrete, some that are gravel, and then we have another probably 3 miles of mountain biking trails. And then if you want to ride around town, you can do that. You can get to Wire Park safely as well, which a lot of people like to visit after they go to Thomas Farm Preserve and go out there and get a scoop of ice cream, or go downtown and get some ice cream at Outpost Oconee, or go get a beer, whatever they want to do, visit our restaurants. So now, if you don't want to get off your bike and you just want to ride to Wing House or ride to one of our great downtown restaurants, you can do that. Or if you want to go over to Wire Park, you can do that in your car. You can walk. You can do it whatever way you want to, right? We're not trying to say this is how people need to use these businesses. We're just trying to give people choices in how they want to get around. And, even better, if you're a 13 or 14-year-old kid, you're in a safe community and you're able to get around on your bike and have a good time. You can go Mayberry style and go fishing, and then you can hop on your bike and ride to the Golden Pantry and get your drink and get home safely after all that.
And folks, I can't emphasize enough what he just described, calling it Mayberry. It is absolutely picturesque, beautiful. If you go to their website or their Facebook page, you will see some of the pictures that they took with drone photos, and it is out of a movie, the setting. So I highly encourage you, if you've never been there, go check it out. It's the Simonton Bridge Road pedestrian bridge. Is that the best way to describe it?
We're calling it the Mulberry Covered Bridge. That's the old road that we reopened, was Mulberry Street. And,
okay.
So the Mulberry Covered Bridge and Thomas Farm Preserve. And as I said, it's all connected to our downtown and OCAF, which is our Oconee Cultural Arts Foundation, their center, which is also lovely for people who enjoy the arts. They have galleries there and teach classes, and that's all a part of the experience too. Rocket Field, where we have concerts, and baseball and softball. So all that's now connected, as well as the historic Eagle Tavern, which is a lot of people love to come to Watkinsville who love history and see that. So now all that is connected in an easy walk, obviously not on a 97-degree day, but when it cools off a little bit, I would encourage people to visit the Eagle Tavern, start there, and then take the walk, and you can see some of our great history there, and all the way through to Thomas Farm Preserve, and it's a really nice afternoon adventure, as you put it.
Marc McMain, we're visiting with Brian Broderick. He's the mayor of Watkinsville. Mr. Mayor, update us now to, you guys have your big 250 celebration tomorrow. Am I correct?
No, it's Friday. It's
what did it say? Today's Wednesday. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yep.
Friday.
Yep.
July 3rd. Walk us through that. Tell us what's going on for that entire day.
Yeah, we're going to kick off at 8 a.m. with a 5K run. That is sold out, but it's the Freedom Trail 5K, and so that's going to start there in that area you and I were just discussing near downtown Watkinsville, and then actually go through the park and finish at the Mulberry Covered Bridge. That's the first road race that we've had that'll go through there, and obviously we wanted to be cautious about how many entrants we had, so that sold out several weeks ago, which is great. And then the rest of the events kick off around 4 o'clock. The park will actually be closed most of the day. We're going to have an amazing band in there with a stage called Guardians of the Jukebox. They're going to have a huge screen behind them, big speakers. So we're closing the park for most of the day so we can load all that stuff in. We'll kick off at 4 o'clock. We're going to have a patriotic costume parade at 4. And then we're going to have living history stations, and our kids zone is going to open. Then we're going to have slides and jumpies for kids. The food vendors will start at 4. Then at 4:30, we're going to have a reading of the Declaration of Independence. We really want people to understand the history and the monumental nature of this day. We're going to cut a huge cake for the community to enjoy. I heard today we should have about 400 pieces of cake. That'll be around 4:30. And then we'll have a DJ kickoff at 5. So we'll get the energy building. We'll have great music as people arrive and get to the site. And then at 6:30, with 6:15, we're going to recognize our Spirit of 76 honorees. This is 19 citizens who really embody the spirit of America that we honored. Some are not with us any longer, and some are still living. And so we recognized them at our last city council meeting, but we're going to briefly recognize them again, as well as our sponsors, Chairman John Daniel. This is a joint city-county event. I want to emphasize that. So the county's been a huge supporter in a lot of ways for this with their time and their resources. We couldn't have done it without them. So Chairman John Daniel will welcome the crowd. And then the band kicks off at 6:45, and they're going to play a 2-hour set. As I said earlier, they're going to have a huge screen behind them. It's going to be fully amplified. It's going to be great. They're called Guardians of the Jukebox, cover band, just really outstanding. They'll wrap up, and at that point at 8:45, we've got about a 15-minute gap where it requires we'll have some raffles where we're going to give away some really cool stuff, and then the drone show will start at 9, and we'll have the Star Spangled Banner at 9, and then the drone show will start after that. That'll be 15 or 20 minutes. We think that's going to just be really outstanding and just something a little bit different than the fireworks. There's going to be fireworks at other places in the community, but we wanted to have a drone show for those who were able to enjoy that, and also just to be cautious with the park and where we're hosting it. The last thing we needed was a chance of a fire or anything like that. So I think it's going to be a spectacular night, Mark. The one thing I will flag for our guests, we don't have parking on site except first come, first serve handicap. So people will need to walk in across that bridge, park downtown, or from the other end, we have 400 parking spaces at Watkinsville First Baptist that they're allowing us to use. So people will be able to walk in. There will be lights. It'll be an easy walk, but people will need to walk in. They can drop off in front of the park. So if they have picnic blankets and baskets and food and things they want to drop off, it's totally free, the whole event, other than what you pay for food. But you can drop off and walk in, or if you have senior citizens who don't want to walk that far, and then go park and walk in. It's about a 5 to 10 minute walk.
And it's a beautiful walk. This sounds like an incredible way to spend the entire day. I mean, you could spend all day in Watkinsville. And it sounds to me, Chastity, like Watkinsville is trying to one-up Monroe with all this stuff. You get that sense?
Absolutely.
They're definitely trying to
going on.
There is.
I would never try. I don't know that it's possible to one-up John Howard and the team in Monroe, but when we grow up, we want to be like Monroe, maybe.
Right.
Well, I love the fact that you guys did this right, where these are spaced out so people can go to this event on Friday, July 3rd in Watkinsville, and then they come over to the Monroe event on July 4th. So it's just fantastic. I appreciate all the effort and energy that you and your team and your entire community's put into this, because it sounds like something worth making the trip for. It really does.
We think it is. It's going to, like I said, other than what you're paying for food and drink, it's going to be free. We are going to have cooling stations and EMTs there, so if people are worried about the heat, feel free to come out a little bit later, just enjoy it, or come out and use the cooling stations. And then afterwards, if people haven't had enough, there will still be some music playing at Wire Park. And, so if at 9:30 people are like, hey, I want to spend a little bit more time and maybe rock it in at 12:01 or something, then head over to Wire Park and check out South Main Brewing. I think they're going to have a band and a little bit of an after party going on over there too.
Probably a wrestling match usually. There's some wrestling. Well, that's on. Maybe that's Saturday night.
I can't make any promises about wrestling, but
Brock's always got something fun going on over at the brew.
Yeah.
No, that's great. What a great place to spend your Friday. And what I'm going to do now, Marc McMain Show. We're visiting with the mayor of Watkinsville, Brian Broderick. Brian, I want you to have an opportunity. Is there something else that you guys have coming up? I found something that I want you to just touch on for a second. It's still off in the distance. It's the Oconee Best Barbecue. That's Saturday, August 29th, if you want to talk about that a little bit. But is there anything else that you want to preview?
That's probably the closest one that's coming up. Fall is a busy season for us, and that really kicks it off. And I don't have all the dates on the top of my head, but I will flag it. That's a fun event, kind of our back-to-school event where we have music and barbecue at Rocket Field. And we bring together, it's a judged barbecue contest, and people can come and try a lot of different varieties of barbecue. And then we have a band there. I think it's going to benefit Lydia's Place, which is just a wonderful program.
It is, yeah, fantastic.
Foster children who have aged out. And then, a little bit later in October, we'll have our Fall Festival, which is always a huge event. Again, another one at Rocket Field, newly revitalized Rocket Field. And then we have downtown trick-or-treating, and then we get hard to believe, but we'll be talking about Christmas parade and things like that. So about once a month through the fall, we have big events in downtown Watkinsville, in addition to everything that our merchants and others have going on. So, yeah, it'll be a busy season starting in August, and I'm just really proud that our little town and little community continues to pull these things off. I mean, we're not a big government. We're a small but mighty group of partners working closely together with our school system and our county and our Chamber of Commerce to do some really great events. And I'm grateful for all their support, as well as our sheriff's office and the Watkinsville Police Department. Chief James Arwood,
absolutely,
with our police department, and Sheriff Hale work hand in hand also to make sure that people are safe and comfortable and well taken care of at these events, and you just can't take that for granted. So I'm grateful for our law enforcement community. They work extra hard, and I know it's hot in the summer and in the early fall when they're doing these things, and we're grateful for that.
Yeah, we are blessed, no doubt about it. I can't believe the year is half over already. It's just, it goes so quick, but that's what happens when you have so much going on. Mr. Mayor, I greatly appreciate what you, your team, the entire community's done out there. I'm excited about this. I will be coming out Friday. I don't know if I'll cross paths with you or not, but I'm going to partake in some of the festivities, so I look forward to seeing this. And if there's anything else that you think of that you need to make our listeners aware of, you reach out to Chastity and we'll get you back on.
Sounds great. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Chastity. We're grateful for you guys.
Absolutely. That's the mayor of Watkinsville, Brian Broderick. You heard all the wonderful events they have going on. If you go visit their website or their Facebook page, it has everything listed. That's how I found the Oconee's Best Barbecue event, but there's other things that they have taken place. So if you want to find a good place to go on Friday, this is it.
And the drone show, how cool is that?
They have gotten so crazy good.
Yeah.
The drone shows are really spectacular.
I'm excited about that.
Because when you say drone show, it's kind of like, huh? But then when you see a drone show, it's like,
they're
wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They do some really cool stuff. So that'll be really fun.
And I know what he was saying about, the risk of fire. But you know what? Over here in Monroe, we like to burn things.
Yeah.
So we're going big.
Yeah.
We're going fireworks. No, that's fantastic. Good way to spend your Friday. Folks, you listen to the Marc McMain Show. Take a quick break. When we come back, my buddy James Cooper, he is the chairman of the 10th District Republican Party. You're not going to want to miss this interview. Stick around.
The Madison Trolley Company is Morgan County's newest 5-star attraction. We offer historic Madison tours year-round, a haunted history experience in the fall, and our Madison Lights Christmas Tour and Mary Maddie Express Adventure for kids have become new holiday traditions. Our private charters add vintage charm to weddings and special occasions aboard a historic trolley by day, party trolley by night. Find us on the Madison Town Square or get on board by visiting madisontrolley.com or calling us at 706-997-1800.
Employee pricing continues at Akins Ford in Winder with up to $10,000 off MSRP on select 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks and Badlands through June 30th. Hi, this is Brad Akins, and we have over 70 of them in stock. Stock number 55347, MSRP $56,423. Discount includes $1,000 dealer assistance with approved financing through Ford Credit and another $1,000 trade assistance with your 2010 or newer trade. Discount does not include $7.99 doc fee and $84 electronic filing fee. It retains factory rebates plus government fees. See dealer for details. Visit us today at akinsford.com.
Since 1979, the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family has been caring for families in their time of need. The Tim Stewart family pledges to honor your loved one with excellence in service, compassion, and will guide you in making the right decisions. To learn more about the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family, stop in at one of their 3 locations in Monroe, Loganville, and Lawrenceville. Call 770-267-2594 or go to stewardfh.com.
Courtesy Ford in Conyers is proud to announce the Quick Lane grand opening happening July 9th through the 10th. Q92.3 will be broadcasting live. You can check out Josh Berry's number 21 Ford Mustang Dark Horse on display for everyone to see, plus food and refreshments and so much fun. And of course, specials on oil changes. Buy one, get one free for just $89.99. Now through July 13th. It's Courtesy Ford Quick Lane's grand opening. For more details, check out courtesyatlanta.com.
Welcome back, Marc McMain. Chastity, so we were talking, you're right, with the drone show, you don't have the boom of the fireworks,
Yes.
and that does rattle the cage of some dogs.
Yes.
Now, my dog's deaf, so it doesn't bother him one bit, but I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Some
My
dogs
dogs
get
don't
freaked
like
out.
it either.
They-
So they run and hide.
They get all shivery and hide in the corner.
So that would be a quiet alternative to fireworks.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
going to go see the
A lot of
drone
fun. A lot of fun. No doubt about
Absolutely.
that. All right. My buddy's in studio with me. My friend James Cooper. He is the chairman of the 10th District Republican Party. Mr. Cooper, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Thank
I've been
you.
looking forward to having you here in person because I got lots of stuff to kind of go over and bombard you with all kinds of different questions and tidbits. So are you ready for rolling?
I'm ready.
So turnout in this last primary was not great. Turnout for the runoff election was even worse.
That's right.
And so is there a concern, and this doesn't have to even really be party specific right now. We can just talk across the board as Americans. When we see this dwindling appetite for the electorate to get out there and go to the polls and vote, is there concern that we're seeing this?
There's always a concern when it comes to voter turnout and voter apathy. The primary process is up to the candidates running for the nomination of each party to get their message to the voter. So
Right.
it basically falls to the candidates in the primary. It's the candidates' turnout mechanism. When we go into the general, like we now have our nominees, and congratulations on being
Thank you.
my next senator.
Yes, sir.
We're just going to ignore the fact that there's a Democrat in November. But when you become the nominee, it then becomes the party's responsibility to turn out the base.
Right. Okay.
The party is not the organization to do voter persuasion. That's still up to the candidates.
That's up to the candidate. Right.
But it is our job as the party to turn out the Republican base. That is the known Republican voters that we can get to the poll, whether it's high propensity, low propensity.
Yep.
And this year we'll be targeting, just like we did 2 years ago with the presidential election, low propensity voters.
Yeah, and I think that's the trick, is because you're going to have a faction of people that are going to show up to the polls no matter what. You know, you've got your
That's right.
devoted, we call them 404, people that vote just about in every election.
That's right.
And then when you start getting past that, the voting record gets a little bit sketchier. And,
Right.
and you have people that are what I would say just good American citizens that just skip or miss elections. Now, sometimes it may be they had an event come up. Maybe there was a death in the family or they got ill, and I understand that. And that's why we have early voting.
That's right.
You know, if early voting is now recommended because it prevents those catastrophic events from taking place. What I'm concerned about is the apathy. And again, I'm sure the Democrats are having the same conversation within their party. You know, how do we get people back to the polls? But it's just, it feels like there's a continued diminishing return on who's actually going to the polls.
Right. Well, if it's like in 2024, 2 years ago, voters turned out in massive numbers to change the direction of the country, the economy. Everybody still votes the kitchen table economy. What we're seeing this year is, I was listening to you as I was driving in about the new millionaires. 40% of the millionaires in the world now here in the United States.
Yeah, think of that.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not one of them. I have watched our business account decline over the past 2 years, and that is right the opposite of what the American public voted for just 2 years ago.
Right.
Now, is my reality the same as everyone else's reality? No. Half of it's because of the business I'm in.
Yeah, you're in the trucking
I'm in
industry,
the
so you've
trucking
been
industry.
zapped by the diesel fuel prices.
That's right.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of things that go to making up the voter apathy that we're facing here.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with the individual's personal economy. And I read an article by a young Republican here out of Walton County just yesterday afternoon. John Breedlove, I'll give him credit for it.
It was a good article.
He's
Yeah.
spot on when he's talking about what matters to the younger generation. And as candidates running on our ticket, they need to read that article.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm going to send it to our nominee for governor, Rick Jackson. Rick actually listens to the people. He actually has picked up on a lot of recommendations that have been made to him by the base. And John Breedlove's spot on when he says we're worried about housing costs. We're worried about, let's see, what was some of the other things in there? The taxes,
affordability.
the affordability
That's
of
it.
housing, the affordability of rent. Well, that's still housing, but the groceries, everything.
Well, if you were to go knock on doors and you knock on the door of somebody who's 55 or 60 years old, and then you knock on the next door and it's somebody who's 25 or 30, those are two complete different conversations, and they both could be conservative Republicans.
Right.
But it's two complete different conversations. Like you said, the issues of what each person's facing. So I'm glad you brought that up because I thought he did a great job with that article. And also, I'm glad you brought up the governor's race because I was thinking about this. There is what I would call voter fatigue in the electorate because of how hard everybody got bombarded, not just with political advertising, but with the negativity.
Right.
I think it took a toll on people. Did you kind of see that where it starts weighing on people?
Well, for me, being as involved as I am, I don't look at the negativity as negativity. You're having to draw a contrast between you and your opponent, especially in a runoff. Your race was brutal. Some things were said in that race that were completely misleading.
It gets
I
ugly.
will leave it at that.
Yeah, it gets ugly. It does.
And so the voter is stuck out there wondering, okay, what part of this is true? Because there's always some truth in every statement. And it gets confusing, and it does shut people off, and it shuts people down, and they just decide not to go vote. I'll wait till November, and I'll go vote for the Republican, or I'll go vote for the Democrat. So,
yeah, that makes sense. It takes a toll, and maybe it pushes some people away where they're just going to throw their hands up and say, it's gotten so ugly, I don't want to be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the case of Rick Jackson, and you was talking about the economy and how the campaigns are a boost to the economy, we need to give Rick Jackson credit. The Postal Service has got their budget for the year.
Yeah, I think everybody, you knew one thing for sure for the past 6 months, you go to your mailbox and you can get a postcard from Rick Jackson to be in there. Hey, I'm in the direct mail business, so direct mail still works.
Right.
Now, my business, we do not take political direct mail, but I think I made a mistake. I'm going to have to reverse the course on that. Yeah. But the radio station, we take political ads in the radio station, and we had an inundation of radio ads that came across. And it is. I think the case I was making in that segment earlier, James, was that it is good for the economy.
It is.
You think about the jobs that are created because of political campaigns, and I'm talking good jobs, and these may be grassroots level jobs. These are jobs paying $20 an hour to somebody who normally wouldn't have a job. So I think it's good for the economy.
It is good.
Marc McMain, we're visiting with James Cooper. He is the chairman of the 10th District Republican Party here in Georgia. Chairman, let me ask you this. Winning in November, there's obviously a lot of moving parts nationwide that have taken place. We talked about gas prices and the overall economy. I see things getting better. I think it's important for the Republicans that gas prices get back into the twos, preferably lower twos. What you think about the impact that $4 a gallon gas has to the average family in Georgia? It wipes out their disposable income.
Yes.
It really takes away any chance to put the kids in soccer, go to the movies, go out to eat supper. So if those gas prices get down, I think that turnout is better. Is there other things that need to happen, would you say?
Well, it would be nice if Congress would start actually passing some legislation and leaving all the executive orders in place.
Yeah.
Actually get them codified. That would help. So if we lose the election in 2 years, I hope we don't, but there's always that opportunity in a national election that they don't just come back in and just re-executive order it back the other
Unwind
direction.
it, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And that stuff like that we can hang the hat on is what we're going to need moving forward. Here in Georgia, though, the General Assembly has done a great job. That does not get talked about as often as it should. We started out 8-9 years ago with a tax rate of 6%. We are now down to 4.99. We're on track to 3.99. That is something that we need to keep focusing. There has been rebate after rebate every I forget for how many years now, for $250 to $500 from the state of Georgia.
When they have the surplus.
When they have the surpluses. That's not a direct feel in your pocket at the time that it happens, but if we start messaging that, this is going back to another thing that John said in his little article that he wrote this past weekend. We need to be hanging our hat on that, because that is something that's real, that's something that's tangible, that's something that if we get the message across, people can see that.
Yeah, that's right.
But if we don't carry that banner, nobody notices it because it happens in small increments.
Right.
You can't do it all at one time. Everything would collapse.
But you're putting real money back in Georgia's pockets
right.
with that. And what I like about the income tax approach is that it is one of the few strategies that doesn't have to be made up someplace else. They can do this by being wise in how they execute the budget. And we don't have to get into the details of how they make the sausage. But my point is, other proposals that are out there require, hey, we're going to get rid of this tax, but it's got to be made up someplace else. And what they're doing with the state income tax is it's not being made up someplace else.
Right.
It's just real money back in their pockets.
Right.
So, and look, Georgians need relief. It's a big deal. When I was knocking on doors, you would have a myriad of talking points from different people depending upon their age. But one constant was people feel like they're getting hammered.
Yes.
And so it has to be addressed. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. My guest is James Cooper. He's the chairman of the 10th District Republican Party. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got a little segment I'm going to queue up. James, we're going to talk about, may not be the right time, but I figure we throw it out there. If you are listening to this show and if you have aspirations to run for office, we're going to give you a little mini tutorial because we've been there and we've done that. Marc McMain will be right back.
The Madison Trolley Company is Morgan County's newest 5-star attraction. We offer historic Madison tours year-round, a haunted history experience in the fall, and our Madison Lights Christmas Tour and Mary Maddie Express Adventure for kids have become new holiday traditions. Our private charters add vintage charm to weddings and special occasions aboard a historic trolley by day, party trolley by night. Find us on the Madison Town Square or get on board by visiting madisontrolley.com or calling us at 706-997-1800.
I chuckled at a cartoon that showed a news conference by a United States senator who announced that he was divorcing his family so he could spend more time with politics. We may laugh, but the truth is many people make that statement every day. Maybe not with words, but with their actions. In fact, if a politician retires from his work to spend more time with his family, it becomes the lead story met with cynicism on the evening news, while the one who rejects his family advancing his career is commonplace. God tells us we should work hard to the glory of God. But he has clearly shown that we must have priorities. A relationship with God first, and family follows that. What does your focus tell you about your priorities? The Bible says that we have brought nothing into this world and we can take nothing out of it. It's good to focus on the things that last, like putting God first, and then family, and then people all around us that God loves. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
Visit rightfromtheheart.org and click television to watch our TV spots.
Are you looking for custom t-shirts, golf shirts, or uniforms for yourself or work? What about a family reunion, a fundraiser, or sports team? Whatever you're looking for, Chris and Debbie at Blue Hound in Monroe can help you. Real Country uses Blue Hound for our golf shirts and t-shirts. They do quality work and they're great folks. Blue Hound is located at 111 East Washington Street in Monroe. Go by and see what they can do for you or call 404-307-3664. That's 404-307-3664. Tell them April sent you.
Roll-Off Systems of Statham, they're on a roll. They offer dumpsters in all sizes, trash compactors, porta potties, and new combo cans. Existing sites are new building sites. Trash and waste disposal, it's their business. Locally owned and operated. Call Roll-Off Systems today. 770-725-ROLL. That's 770-725-ROLL. Or go to rolloffsystems.com.
Welcome back. Marc McMain, my guest is James Cooper, 10th District Chairman of the Republican Party here in Georgia. Chairman Cooper, let me ask you this. Why should somebody consider getting involved? And I'll even let you kind of take the floor and talk about the different ways that somebody can get involved.
Well, you should get involved because most folks do not realize how easy it is to really know their elected officials on a very personal basis. In 2009, when I first started getting involved myself to the extent that I am now, I was very shocked how easy it was to walk up to the governor of the state, shake their hand, ask them how they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just, most people around the state do not realize the actual very personal relationship they can have with an elected official. But that starts in the grassroots portion.
Accessibility.
Accessibility. It starts with coming out to a meeting, and the 10th District has 20 counties. We've got a party website that has all the contact information for all the counties. That's 10th District, GAGOP.com. Click on the party link, the county party link, and it'll pull up all 20 counties across the district and all their contact information.
And most of those counties have a monthly meeting.
Most all of our counties have a monthly meeting at this point. There was some that didn't for a period of time. And in fairness, we're now in July, so a lot of counties have taken July and August off for the summer. And they'll be getting right back at it after August. So it's so easy to have the relationship that you didn't know you could have with Governor Kemp.
Yep.
I mean, people are surprised that you can call the governor. I mean, I had an aunt call me a year ago that says, so-and-so said that you can get a hold of the governor. I said, well, I can. And she's like, well, can you do this? And we're not going to go into what she wanted me to do, but
she have a speeding ticket? You want to get on a speeding ticket?
No. It had to do with someone in the penitentiary system. Okay. We'll just say it like that. And I was like, yeah, I can, but no, I'm not. So, we're just. My point is, it's so easy.
You're right, because if you look at the events that have been hosted just in this region alone, there have been multiple opportunities over the past couple of years to come to these events as just a citizen. You don't have to be a member, and you would have met the governor, the lieutenant governor, secretary of state, attorney general, and you could walk up, shake their hand. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Even on August 22nd of this year, you give me the perfect opportunity to plug the 10th
Tell us about
barbecue.
it. Tell us about it. Big event. It's a big deal.
August 22nd at 4:30 p.m., Towers at Snow's Mill will open the doors. We have confirmed that our nominee for governor, Rick Jackson, will be there. All the other constitutional officers, for the majority, I have confirmed. If I started naming them, I'd forget one, so we're not going to do that.
So the candidates and current elected officials may be there?
Yes, the governor's going to be invited. That'll depend on his schedule at this point. But the governor has been pretty much present at all of them, except last year he had a scheduling conflict. And they're not isolated off from the public. I mean, they walk through the venue, they shake your hands, they take pictures with you, they talk to you. That's a great opportunity. The tickets will be $40 a piece when we have.
Can you sign up at the event, or do you need to sign up in advance?
We encourage people to buy the tickets in advance because the venue is limited in space. We normally have 400 to 450 people.
It is a fantastic political barbecue. It is a well-attended event.
It is. I'm proud of our barbecue with our district level because it is the least political event of the year.
So what you mean by that is it's social. It's a lot of social.
It's social.
And you got music. Tell us about the musician.
We got music. This year we're going to have Andrew Dixon back from Madison County. Super great, talented young man.
His genre is country music too, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
It is.
We've had Andrew Dixon on the show.
You have. I've heard the interview.
That's right. He did great. Played some of his music. No, it is. It is a well-attended event. You will meet elected officials. You'll meet some of the future elected officials there. And you're going to be entertained. And then, of course, fantastic food. I'm assuming is Striplin's catering again?
Striplin's is catering again. Jimmy Camp does a phenomenal job.
Oh, are you getting the smoked chicken?
There will be smoked chicken and pulled pork, yes,
Oh,
sir.
my goodness. And then if he's kind, he will bring his blueberry cobbler as well. If he's kind. If he knows I'm coming, he may actually put a little side for me there. That is fantastic. And how do people learn about the event? Did they go to your Facebook page or your website?
The district website, 10thdistrict, gagop.com. We've got the sponsorship links up available now. If you got a business you want to sponsor, we'd love to have you. Those are up. The ticket link will be up by the end of this week.
Marc McMain, we're visiting with James Cooper, chairman of the 10th District Republican Party here in Georgia. Mr. Cooper, let's talk about the individual county parties, easy to go to. You don't have to join. You can just go show up, sit down, listen to candidates come and share their vision of why they want to be elected. Or if it's after the election, you'll get to meet elected officials who might be given a town hall type format, an update on what they're working on.
Right, yes. All of our counties meet, like I said, once a month. Typically, they'll have a speaker or two, whether it is a local county city council, county commissioner, the sheriff, whoever. We do try to provide the opportunity for our statewide constitutional officers to come and give updates. You get the opportunity there. You can get on the email list of most of these counties without having to pay a membership, so that you'll get updates. I know that Walton County sends out a text message normally the day before a meeting that says who's going to be there that Tuesday evening. And it's just a great opportunity to be around like-minded individuals.
And so now if you decide that you want to do more than just attend the event or to attend your county meetings, you can actually have opportunities to get into the grassroots side. So tell us about what your efforts are going to be from the 10th District perspective to get those voters back out in November.
All right, so the 10th District, right now we are working on opening two regional field offices, and that'll be Clark County and Morgan County.
Okay.
We're working with the Jackson campaign on making sure those offices are staffed because volunteers are hard to come by. Everybody has good intentions, but just like myself, there's only so much free time.
Right.
And I understand that. So we're working on getting those offices staffed. We will be doing postcard writing. We will be doing phone banking. We will be doing canvassing.
So canvassing is door knocking. Get out there.
Canvassing is door knocking, door to door. It gets harder to canvass in the rural parts because you're in a vehicle driving 5 minutes down the road to the next Republican voter. But all of that is absolutely necessary to turn out the numbers that we need this November.
And this is your opportunity. If I have listeners tuning in that says, hey, I want to make a difference, I want to help, this is where you go. This is what you do. And as I've said it before, you can knock doors, you can make phone calls, you can write postcards, or you can write a check.
You can give me your credit card number through the website and make a donation.
That's right.
10th District, gagop.com. There's a donate button at the very top of the page.
Well, what I like about this, if somebody does make a financial contribution to the 10th District, that money gets deployed directly to voter contact.
That's right.
This is not, you are not a paid position for your role.
No, sir.
You do this because you believe in the Republican Party and the purposes of what we're trying to accomplish. And so there is no fluff. You're not funding anything other than the direct voter contact to get people to the polls in November, which is really mission number one. We've got to get people back involved, and we've got good candidates on the ballot.
We do have
starting with Rick Jackson.
Very good candidates.
Yeah,
very good candidates.
What a story with him too. It's such a compelling story because he is that phrase of rags to riches is overused. It's more than that. It's when he shares his story about his mom, most of us can't comprehend that.
Right.
That's something that when I saw that kind of makes me choke up because even though I like to think I went through a tough time when I was younger, I did financial time. I always had my mama.
Right.
He didn't have that. It's a compelling story.
His story, the first time that I met Rick was in Barrack County at a morning breakfast. I go over there. I had a few minutes. I called and asked, do I need to RSVP? No, just show up. So I go over there. Then I get invited to a private lunch thing that they was holding with local elected officials, And when I say local, I'm not talking county commissioner. I'm talking about the real small local, the city council members and this, that, and the other. And I watched him actually engage with all of those local elected officials where he wasn't telling them what he was going to do. He told them what his vision was and listened to them give him critiques on why this portion of it wasn't going to be able to be done unless we change this.
Yeah.
And as I watched him interact with those people, I had already heard his story. I've already seen his intro video. But in watching him, I was sitting in the back of the room, which you know me, I always stay in the back of the room. I'm not to be the center of the attention. And I went back to our office, and my mother came down to the office. She was needing some stuff printed off, and she said, "So you met Rick. What did you think of Rick?" And I looked at her and I said, "Mom, he reminds me of my pawpaw." And
Yeah.
that, you can take that for how you want it, but my grandfather was more to me than just my grandfather. He started our business in 1962. His mother and his father both left him with his uncle.
Oh, mercy.
And his
wow.
aunts.
Wow.
His father moved off to Texas when he was 2 years old. His mother went back to Atlanta, left him at his aunt and uncle's, and said, I can't do it. So there is a lot of resemblance in Rick Jackson to my grandfather, C.M. Cooper. And
it's an unbelievable story, because how often do we hear that people will use those stories as a reason why they didn't succeed in life?
Right.
Whereas Rick has become one of the most successful people that I've ever known.
Right.
And what I realize in the limited times I've been able to meet him, he is genuinely warm. He looks you in the eye. He listens to what you're saying, and he is a really warm human being. And what a great story!
Absolutely.
So, and I think if you're looking for somebody to motivate you to get back to the polls in November, this is your guy.
It absolutely is. And I will draw another comparison to my grandfather. When you worked for Cooper Trucking, you wasn't an employee. You was family.
You're part of the family.
And
Yeah.
you eat lunch. He didn't call it lunch. It was dinner.
Yeah.
Supper was at 6
Later,
p.m.
yeah.
Dinner was at 12.
Yeah.
And dinner was on the table at 12.
Yeah.
And it was cooked. It wasn't a sandwich.
Yeah.
So
it was a meal.
So, but if we was at the shop, he would come down there about 15 minutes to 12, and he said, "Dinner's ready, guys, at 12." And that meant you come up to the house, and you sit down at his kitchen table, and you eat dinner with him at 12 o'clock.
Think of that.
Not
Yeah.
supper.
Right.
But dinner.
But you're part of the family.
You're part of the family.
Yeah. That's how we are here at WMOQ. We're like the mafia. You know, once you sign up with us here at WMOQ, you're in, and there's no getting out. James, what we're going to do, if you have, we're going to take a quick break, commercials, and we're going to run a few minutes extra. This is the cool part about my shows. We can bleed in the next hour. I did promise that we want to talk about if you want to run for office. This is not maybe but a 5-minute segment, but let's take a break and come back and finish that conversation
All
if
right.
you can stick around. Marc
Absolutely.
McMain, we'll be right back.
I chuckled at a cartoon that showed a news conference by a United States Senator who announced that he was divorcing his family so he could spend more time with politics. We may laugh, but the truth is many people make that statement every day. Maybe not with words, but with their actions. In fact, if a politician retires from his work to spend more time with his family, it becomes the lead story met with cynicism on the evening news, while the one who rejects his family advancing his career is commonplace. God tells us we should work hard to the glory of God, but He has clearly shown that we must have priorities. A relationship with God first, and family follows that. What does your focus tell you about your priorities? The Bible says that we have brought nothing into this world and we can take nothing out of it. It's good to focus on the things that last, like putting God first, and then family, and then people all around us that God loves. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
Visit rightfromtheheart.org and click television to watch our TV spots.
Are you looking for custom t-shirts, golf shirts, or uniforms for yourself or work? What about a family reunion, a fundraiser, or sports team? Whatever you're looking for, Chris and Debbie at Blue Hound in Monroe can help you. Real Country uses Blue Hound for our golf shirts and t-shirts. They do quality work and they're great folks. Blue Hound is located at 111 East Washington Street in Monroe. Go by and see what they can do for you or call 404-307-3664. That's 404-307-3664. Tell them April sent you.
Roll-off system.
It's WMOQ FM, Boswick, Monroe, Madison, a Sugar Valley broadcasting station. True Country Q92.3. True Country, real talk.
right, we're extra innings at the Marc McMain Show going overtime. Now, Chastity, you don't get paid extra for this extra 5 minutes. You know that, right? This is free. This is what they call free baseball.
Now, Chastity, I can help you out. I know some folks in the union.
I know, yeah. That's all I need, union involvement here at WMOQ. So I'm speaking with James Cooper. He's the chairman of the 10th District Republican Party here in Georgia, and I had promised a little segment that we're actually coming back to do this because I think it's important. As I was knocking doors, or canvassing as we call it, from time to time I would come across a person that would ask, hey, why did you run? You know, why did you get involved? And then that conversation would sometimes lead to, I've thought about running. You know, I've kicked it around. I didn't do it because of X, Y, or Z. It's an ugly business. It's, you know, it gets nasty, and those are absolute facts to running for office. But I thought about it. Let's talk about it for a minute. If somebody wants to run, where do they start? And now's not the time of year to do it, but when do they start thinking about it, and where do they start?
Well, it is and it isn't the time to do it, because number one, if you're going to run, you really need to have your whole family on board.
Yeah, agreed.
Because you cannot enter into the political arena and not be prepared for what's going to happen.
And I'll say that holds true. I don't care if you're running for something as local as school board or a statewide or nationwide race.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of your more local races turn out to be the more nastier races.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they really do. I mean, I have seen in Walton County, I have seen county commission races decided by 2 votes. You know, I mean, it has happened more than once. And so you start off now, have the conversation with the family, make sure the family is involved, especially the wife or the husband if you're a female, because females can run. I mean, that's I'm equal when it comes to that.
I thank the Lord every day that Liliana didn't decide to run, because she would have mopped me up.
She would have whooped you. There's no doubt.
She would have.
No doubt. But start with the conversation with the family, and make sure the family is on board with it. And you got to understand, no matter what level of politics it is, politics is absolutely a blood sport.
It is.
And you better have the feathers of a duck.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let it roll off your back. And that's the important part of the conversation with the family.
And that's never going to change.
No.
It's never going to get nice again.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have the cordial relationships. I remember when you ran 4 years ago for Congress, you're still friends with several of your opponents.
Mitch Swan is one of our hosts on the show, yeah.
It's very uncommon that you have everybody in the race remain friends by the end of it, because there are some folks that was in that congressional race from 4 years ago that I just as soon as a district chair not have to ever deal with again. You know, and those names will remain with me.
That's right.
So, but anyway,
but it is a blood sport. You're right.
It is absolutely a blood sport, and the family has to understand. The spouses have to understand. You cannot be the defender. You cannot go on social media and be the defender of your spouse who is the candidate.
Doesn't work.
You just are going to have to understand that for 6 months you're going to have to turn off all your social media and just not look at anything if you cannot handle it.
Yeah.
So you've got that aspect. Then you got your civic engagements. You know, your Rotary clubs.
You got to start making the rounds.
You need to be authentic in it. You got to have some skin in the game of the community, because it's you're asking the community to hire you.
Yeah.
And it is public service. I have not seen when any political elected job is elected, if the individual that's elected is doing it correctly, they're never garnering financial status.
There's no money in this. Yeah.
I mean, with me, when I ran for district chair, the first thing I did is I went to my dad. I said, I think I need to do this. I feel led to do this. What's it pay? That was his question.
Yeah.
What does it pay? And I'm like, well, if I do it right, it'll only cost me $7,000 a year.
That's right.
That was before inflation.
And I don't even care if you're running for a federal seat. When you look at running for Congress, what you get paid is not enough for you to live up there.
No.
A lot of people don't know this. Former Congressman Jody Heiss, who's a dear friend of mine, lived in his office.
In the office, absolutely.
Because he couldn't afford an apartment up there.
That's right. There's a lot of them that sleep in their
Yeah.
office and use the Capitol,
like the fitness center,
the
or
fitness
the
center to shower
To
and
shower,
everything
yeah.
like that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any position you're doing this and you're going to make a living at it. It's something that you have to have some level of self-sustenance to make it through.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So get involved in your personal community and the civic organizations, and if you're going to run as a Republican, for the sake of your sanity, go ahead and get involved with your county party, because
I agree.
as a district chair, the one thing that I have to say, does bother me is when a candidate comes in from out of nowhere and just expects everybody to go, oh, hey, welcome, you're running, awesome. We have no idea who you are from Adam's House Cat.
That's right. Yeah.
So build a relationship with the local party.
Yeah, go to your county party, introduce yourself, get involved, become a member. And depending upon how big a seat you're running for, if it's a local seat, whether it's a school board seat, which would be very local, a county commission, city council seat, if it's something bigger, if it's something that's going to involve multiple counties, and you got multiple parties you need to go to and start getting to know people.
That's right.
And something else that I'll say is this: be aware some of the races are nonpartisan. Now this depends county by county, city by city. So I know in Walton County, the county commission races are partisan, meaning you have to declare a party to run, whereas the city council for Monroe, for example, are nonpartisan. You don't declare a party.
Municipal races around the state are nonpartisan.
Does that hold true for the whole state? Okay.
I think there's only 2 municipalities that are partisan.
Got you. Okay.
In the entire state. So for the majority, all municipal races are nonpartisan. You have a split on your school districts. Some counties have nonpartisan school board races. Some counties are still partisan.
Got you.
For the most part, in the 10th district, for the most part, they are still partisan races for school board.
Okay. Yeah. So understand the lay of the land. I think, again, that's great advice. Go to the county party, get acclimated, find out what seats. And here's another piece of advice I'm going to give somebody who's wanting to run for office. Think not just twice, think 3 or 4 times about challenging an incumbent. It's not easy.
It's definitely not easy to challenge an incumbent, and I will go a little bit further on that aspect of it as a chairman of the Republican organization in the district. When you challenge an incumbent, you are asking the people to fire the individual they have working for them.
Yep.
You need to have a good reason.
You better have a good reason.
I'm not saying you better have, but you need to have.
Yep.
And you need to have the resources, if you have the good reason, that they need to fire that incumbent that has already been hired and working for them. If they have done a really bad job, that's okay.
Yep, right.
Challenge them. That's what our Constitution has set up for us in the political arena. We have 2-year term limits on every member of Congress. We have 6-year term limits on every member of the U.S. Senate. In the state of Georgia, we have 2-year term limits on state Senate and state House, 4-year term limits on governor. Every election cycle is a term. If you're going to challenge an incumbent, have a reason to challenge the incumbent. And don't just tell me it's because they've been there 18 years. Give me a reason.
That's right.
There's people that's been there 18 years that have never carried a piece of legislation across the line.
Right.
That's a reason.
Yeah.
They're doing nothing for their constituents. They're just warming the seat. Okay, that's a reason. That's a valid point.
Yep.
But at the same time, you need to be able to articulate what you're going to do for the district as to why we need to move the seat warmer out of the way.
Marc McMain visiting with James Cooper, 10th District Chairman of the Republican Party, talking about if you want to run for office, and let's kind of add with one more thing to that element. You talked about a second ago, resources. If you do plan on running for office, and it may be something simple, local, it may be something more aggressive, statewide, or even federal, you have to have a path to fund your race. If good intentions and a good heart are a start, but they're not going to get you there.
Absolutely. I know a lot of good men and women that had good intentions, a good heart, would have been a great servant that didn't win.
That's right, because they couldn't get their message out.
That's right.
So you either have to have, and not everyone's a Rick Jackson, but you either have to have resources to get your word out, or you have to have the willingness and appetite to become a good fundraiser.
Right.
And that means
you
you're
got to
down for
be
dollars.
willing to ask for money. If you're not willing to ask for money, if you're too proud to ask for money, I get it. I have to ask for money for the district. Some of you out there listening, your phone's going to start ringing next week. You know, I'm going to be calling and asking to help fund these offices that we're going to open up, and helping with staffing.
Call Les Lane. He's one of our newest millionaires here.
I heard that on the way in.
Yeah,
I heard that on the way
we
in.
call him Loaded Les is his nickname.
So, but yes, you got to have that. You've got to have the ability to fund it. A campaign without funding to put out a message is a campaign that's not going to gain any traction.
That's right. And the final thing I'll say about this, if you do decide to run for office, realize that the first step in winning sometimes is losing.
That's right.
And that list is long. People don't realize this. Legendary Sheriff Joe Chapman lost his first race.
That's right.
Houston Gaines lost his first race.
He did.
Mike Collins lost his first race. Who am I missing? Jody Heiss.
Marc McMain.
Marc McMain lost his first race. It is. It's part of it. And so if you go in and say, well, I'm just going to give this one shot, that you probably don't have a high chance of winning your first time out the gates.
There's a lot to be learned when you're the first-time candidate.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be learned. You've got consultants out there. You got some good ones. You got some that'll just take your money.
That's right. Yeah.
But you have to. That's why it is even more important to be involved in the political process before becoming a candidate than just jumping in out from the outside. Outsiders are great. I love the fact that we've got Rick Jackson as our nominee. He's going to be one heck of a governor. There is no doubt in my mind about that. But very few have the resources to be able to do what Mr. Jackson done in becoming our nominee.
But he was also astutely aware of political process.
He was absolutely aware of the right people to put in place.
Yeah, what an organization. Chairman, I got one more question for you before we shut the gates on this bad boy. I had 5, but I'm going to pick this one here. Your favorite part about being the district chairman?
The favorite part about being district chairman is what the stage that we are entering now, the stage in which I get to roll up my sleeves, I get to do the targeting for the district, the messaging for the district, and turning out the vote of our base Republican votes in this district. I love being able to get out there with the candidate and go across the district, no matter what county it's in. You know, I am looking forward to the Rick Jackson bus tour where I don't have to stay at home now. I can come out and be standing there and working the lines with him and turning out our vote. That's the part that I love about it.
Well, I appreciate what you do. When I was the chairman of the Republican Party here in Walton County, you were my mentor. You showed me so much about how you got things done on a grassroots level. So you have so much to offer. The party is blessed to have you as part of this. I know sometimes you say you're behind the scenes, but I think the more you're not behind the scenes, the better off you are, because we're blessed to have you. So thanks for stepping aside from your business today to come visit with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is the Marc McMain Show. I don't know who's on tomorrow, Chastity. Who covers for me on Thursdays now?
So tomorrow we are going to have Jeff Hood.
Jeff is back?
Yes, Jeff is back.
He gets hit by a car, near-death experience,
yes,
and he's back on the air tomorrow?
He's made an incredible recovery.
He is built like a tank, that dude. Well, that's great. We can't wait to have Jeff Hood back on.
Absolutely.
All right, tune in tomorrow, noon, Jeff Hood. Until then, folks, we will see you later. Take care.